I saw it.
Why?
I saw it from the mirror.
So I'm just gonna like brush roll your underwear a little bit. Yes, yes, Mama Mia. Ah! Ava punched me.
Ethan.
One, two. You know what to do. Yep. That's good. I wonder. Okay. Yeah, I knew you got it.
Thank you.
You see, the next day it will come fast. You say tomorrow, I give it today. Huh? Why? You cannot really have it at your. What my grandma said, you don't finish your lunch, no you do. Okay, I think you should do your first work me, the second day of work.
因為而家
He's right. This is European
趁新鮮食啊，喂趁新鮮食啊，仲攞翻兩隻啦。
seasonings. And Cuban.
You want me to take anything out of the way? 趁新鮮食好啦。有啊，
我哋有啦，我哋有。
你話咗啲啦。不嚟人哋想賺你錢，你又想 happy，都好似。
You see, you're eating gourmet stuff, not like your cousins who eat chicken nuggets, okay? And Nathan orders stuff that's very,
American.
yeah, American.
Not everyone gets a chance to eat. Oh, okay.
Might as well remove it there and then dip it.
係啊，好晒。Even the cheese that they put in there is so good. 你話你知唔知啊？你阿爸爸同阿 Ann 個姑姑啊，冇菜時啊，我哋細個食咩係咪咧？
Yep.
你都嚇咗佢。
You see, it's not kind right now, just water.
And the horizon.
So you got your video clips on?
Huh?
You got your video clip? You're gonna show Jean?
Oh yeah. You should email me some of your videos.
Yeah.
Hola amigos, look at there. Look at there. What is it?
Our moon South Pike excursion.
Hey, we should take a picture of the ship.
Yeah. Okay. Let me take my.
Oh my. Oh my. Hello.
Someone's.
Yep, you got it.
All about salmon.
專門賣生嘅。
係咩？
It's better than buying 呢啲 souvenir shop 嗰度睇就好啲嘅。
睇下入去睇睇先啦。我要買啲嘢俾佢
Make a
食。
loop，因為我哋大把時間。We gotta check everything out.
To taste the salmon.
Take a look at those crabs.
Don't worry about it. They don't need to go to
哇！咁唔平啊！呢啲衫啊，10蚊件。
揾我。
right, good. Yeah, colorful.
Hey, you! No.
Save it for pictures, no more video for this one. Okay. But you feel okay, right?
Yeah. I don't know why my eyes red.
That's,
唔夠瞓，好啦。
that's from lack of sleep.
你千祈唔好揾手捽就知啦。
Yeah. You got a freak.
Don't play. Who's thinking? It's pretty, huh? Pretty view.
You got that room service?
No, I forgot to order it.
Oh. Well, I just asked your mom. I said, I wonder where our daughter's at.
We went down to the.
The only way to get up higher is one deck higher than this.
But there's one that's moving up there.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe take a picture.
Nice view. Pakai mana? Yeah. Okay.
Hold on, I'm gonna move over here.
Why don't you go ahead? Thank you.
Yep.
I think I'll take one of you guys.
Yep.
Ice 啊，你哋。
Iceberg.
哇
1, 2. You know what to do.
，thank you, thank you.
Yep, that's a good one.
Oh yeah. You can take a picture.
Got to center us.
Good.
Thank you.
That should be good.
It's good to see you.
Whatever happened. People on board have lived. Most of them are still asleep or still inside the cabin with the door shut. And these S-curves just catch ice and hold it. About 10% of the Earth's land area is covered with glacial ice, and that includes not just the glaciers, but the ice caps and the ice.
Okay. You can pause it if you
Ranges that spring off the Alaska Range, like the Talkeetna Mountains, the Chugach Mountains. You have pockets like near Valdez.
Or from the other side, like 3 lifeboats considered like 3.
And pieces of it collapse into the water. It relieves pressure on areas below the level of the water. It's also moving into the side where we can do that.
I can smell more like you can smell salt water?
Yeah.
And certainly on the starboard side of the glacier, on the right-hand side, you can see that big old
I'm sure the
massive
already
pile.
Hola. Today.
Trying to see the view. Avon.
Mama, there's a piece of ice over there. Over there, Mama.
Oh yeah. Six. Right there, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Maybe another one. Take a picture.
We are here in Juneau.
Cái này để xuống khách thì đi lên theo đường đó, còn mấy cái đường nhỏ nhỏ kia để cho mấy
These are the big cushions, full of air.
If that's the case, babe.
What he said.
I'm concerned that my data has been all used up. Okay.
That is a raven. Crows are a lot smaller. Those are dirty birds.
Yes.
But they're very intelligent. So welcome to Juneau, everyone. You looked out. It is not raining. It was earlier.
Yes. Yes, and I just want to make sure my phone works down here so I can call home.
Mount Roberts stands 3,800 feet tall. Mount Roberts used to be a gold mine called AJ. There is 42 plus miles of tunnels in that mountain. They were digging up those tunnels. They didn't know what to do with the tailings. So they just started filling in all the holes, the low spots, the beaches, and now we have roads. That's why Juneau is known for having streets paved with gold. Coming up on the left-hand side, you will see a 4-story garage parking. On top is our public library. On the end of the building, you will see 2 native designs. On the left-hand side is the Raven. Now, is anybody familiar with the Birdman from Alcatraz? This is where he became famous. Right up this street is where he shot a local dead in the street and went on the run.
Now, it's not uncommon for bears to come downtown using these stairwells in the evening. They wait for the ships to leave. They wait for it to get a little quiet down here. They wander down on these stairwells and they come down, lick the garbage cans, look for droppings. Directly in front of us is the famous Red Dog Saloon. One time, Wyatt Earp came through here. As he was being escorted out of town, he left his gun on the counter, still hanging on the wall. It's the only place in town where there's wood chips on the floor and swinging doors. Now, the original owner, he used to hang out down here on the dock as he waited for the ships and the barges to come in. Alongside of me had his donkey. And on the back of his donkey, he had a sign that said, "Follow my ass to the Red Dog Saloon." That's a true story. All right, here we are in the heart of downtown Juneau. I'm going to take you up Main Street, and I am going to show you the state capitol building. So directly right up this street, you will see a brown building with a flat roof, 2 flags on top. That is our state capitol building. Originally, it was our federal building, and it wasn't until 1959 when Alaska was purchased for $7 million that they handed over to become our state capitol. We are one of the only state capitals that does not have a dome-like building. Plus, we're also one of the only state capitals closest to another country, which is Canada, 45 miles right over those mountains. They do give tours of this building. If you look in front of the state capitol, you will see some beautiful white marble pillars. Now, all the marble that I point out today, all that marble came from Alaska. Came from an island called Prince of Wales. Way around the corner, over here on the right-hand side is the City Museum. Over here on the left-hand side is what us locals call the SOB building. That is the state office building. As I bring you up around the corner, I will show you the governor's mansion, which was built in 1912. When they built the governor's mansion, they built above the Tlingit village. Right now, our governor's mansion is home of Governor Bill Walker. Yes, at one time, Sarah Palin did party here, but no, you cannot see Russia. What you can see is Douglas Island. And because Sarah did not live here, now it's mandatory that the governor must reside in this building. And directly in front of us, this is a state lawyer's house. So you know he's doing pretty good. Now, does everybody know how Juneau got its name? Oh, there was a couple explorers, Richard Harris and Joe Juneau. And they were up the Gatineau Channel, and they were in the search for gold. They became lost. That's when Richard looked over at Joe and said, "Do you know where we are?" Oh, that's a bad joke. It is true. These explorers were up the Gatineau Channel. They were in the search for gold, and they ran into a Tlingit. Later, they found out his name was Chief Cowie. They pulled up that shiny rock and showed Chief Cowie, and he shook his head and said, "Agoo," which means come. He led them down the Gatineau Channel, through the thicket brush, over Mount Juneau, across Gold Creek, and up to Mount Roberts, where the equivalent today, they pulled out $8.4 billion worth of gold. That is why Juneau is the state capital. That brought the United States out of recession, and that's what put gold as a standard. Now, the reason they call that Gold Creek is because there is gold in that creek. It's also the main water supply for downtown Juneau. Now, we are entering the oldest part of Juneau. So when this was a heyday mining town, this was the original miners' camp. All these houses are original. And most of these houses and the businesses downtown were built from the first set of timber across the way. So if you look over at Douglas, that is all second growth. And most of these houses in this area, they go for a pretty penny. And they say it's because of location. And what I mean by a pretty penny, pick the smallest house in this area, and you probably cannot get it for under $450,000.
Wow.
Whatever you pay in the lower 48s, you can triple that. That is what you're going to pay here in Juneau. Now, we do have a higher cost of living, mainly because everything has to be shipped or flown in. We do have 7 cents on the dollar, city tax, but we do not have state tax. Now we are going to be crossing over the bottom part of Gold Creek. And what's really neat about Gold Creek is in about a week or two, this little creek is going to be so plugged full of fish that you can walk across the fish. And what's neat is watching these salmon try to struggle their way up this concrete slab in just an inch of water. There are a few salmon that do make it up between Juneau and Roberts. Now over here on the left-hand side, this is still considered to be Tlingit Village. They own this whole entire block. And at the very end of their block is our congregational hall. It's where they still get together on a regular basis and hold their meetings and their delegations. So when the government built above their village, it upset the Tlinkits' way of life. So in 1912, the men got together and formed a group called A&B, Alaska Native Brotherhood. 5 years later, the women got together and formed a group, ANS, Alaska Native Sisterhood. They are the oldest known coalition group that still fights for the indigenous, for their rights, for their land, and for their water. It wasn't until 1973 that they finally won their first act, and that was called the Landless Act. But they are still waiting as of today for the government to sign that act. Now every 2 years, Juneau holds Celebration, and Celebration is a gathering of all the natives from around Alaska. They come here to sing, dance, and share their regalia. They're celebrating their history, their culture, and their heritage. And over here in the red building, Centennial Hall, this is where they gather for their ceremonies. Now a lot of these clans, as they're making their way to Juneau for Celebration, they show up in their handmade, hand-carved canoes. And some of those journeys take up to 2 weeks as they're singing, drumming, and paddling. Right now, a bunch of canoes did make it to the backside of Douglas, so they should be showing up and arriving pretty soon. Now, looking over the left-hand side, you will see our brand new $1 million whale statue. It is surrounded by a fountain. When the fountain's turned on, it makes it look like it's shooting out of water. And still looking over the left-hand side, you will see 3 faces on the end of Juneau Hotel. And those 3 faces are of Richard Harris, Joe Juneau, and Mr. Mendenhall. Which this mountain over here on the right-hand side is named after Joe. This is Mount Juneau, and it stands 3,500 feet tall. Now we're going to be heading over to Douglas, and I'm going to take you to Homestead Park, which was the original miners' camp when the Treadwell mine was up and running. In 1930, they built this bridge to connect Douglas to Juneau. It wasn't until 1970 that they revised the bridge. They pulled up the wooden planks and they set concrete. As they were setting the concrete, they were running these power lines across. So back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, there was a gold mine at the south end of Douglas called Treadwell. And as the miners were trying to come up this channel with their ships and their barges, their mining equipment, they kept hitting sandbar. So they had to dredge this whole entire channel, but they never did dredge on this side of the bridge. That is the only way that your ships are able to make it into the port of Juneau as of today. They said it was very costly, but they dredged the whole channel, brought their equipment in, and they said they were mining the old-fashioned way by using stamps. They set up almost 1,000 stamps, and the stamps is what crushed the rock. That's how they got the gold out of the rock. And they said back then they had all their essential needs. They had hot and cold running water. They had a gym, a swimming pool, a school. But as they dug 5 tunnels and went 2,800 feet down into the ground, they hit water. 4 out of 5 tunnels flooded. So they set up many pump houses trying to recover those tunnels. They never could. So there is still gold buried at the south end of Douglas. By then, that's when they heard there was a gold rush up on the Yukon territories. And since it was so expensive for them to dredge and bring their equipment in, they couldn't afford to send their equipment back out. So they left everything standing and took off to the Yukon territories. Now there is still a few stamps standing down here at Treadwell,
Yo, what's up?
To translate that, they needed new medicine for the people. And she told me, she says, June, you're fortunate because you have grocery stores. You can go and buy anything you want. When I was younger, we did not have grocery stores. We had to gather all spring and summer long, so that way we had enough food for the wintertime. But she made it to the ripe age of 92. But she used to still ask me to take her to McDonald's. There's one thing you do not do to your elder in the clan is tell them no. Now the youngest child is supposed to take care of their grandparents. That is their duty. And the oldest child is supposed to raise their brothers and sisters' kids. So as they're out working, they're being raised by their aunts and uncles. Plug this full of king salmon and let the kids come out here and fish in the summertime, if the eagles haven't beat them to it. Because now that's an easy catch for an eagle. And if you're looking to spot eagles, we are in the area. There's 2 reasons that they hang out in this area. Right now they are teaching their young how to fish and hunt. And one of the reasons is that they know it's shallow around here, and they know their babies have a least chance of drowning. Now, a fact about an eagle is when they swoop down and grab a fish out of the water, their talons lock, and they're not able to release that fish until they hit land. So if they pick up a fish that's too heavy for them and they can't get out of the water, well then they will swim to shore. If shore isn't close enough, that fish could drown that eagle. Another fact that they hang out in this area is because they're also known as scavengers, and they like to hang out in our local dump that's located over here on the right hand side. But they pay somebody to stand in that dump during business hours shooting off fireworks. That's to keep the bears and the eagles out. Now, if you're looking to spot an eagle, you look for a golf ball. You see a golf ball, then you know you've seen an eagle. But now if you see one, and it does not have a golf ball head, looks like a golden eagle or a big dirty hawk, there's one sitting right out there, that's because it is a juvenile. And a juvenile does not get its bald head until it's 4 years of age. And by then, the parents are literally kicking it out of the nest. There's a baby right there. Oh, that's an adult. If you look up Lemon Creek, you'll probably see a few sitting up the creek, a few sitting down the creek. They know it's around closing time, so they've all gathered back into the dump. Now, included in your ticket is going into the visitor center. I do recommend going into the visitor center because we are the only glacier park in Alaska that has a visitor center. Now, up at the visitor center, it has all the facts and information about the glacier and the surrounding park. I think they do have before and after pictures too. It's also a good viewing point, and it has a small little movie clip. I think the movie clip is about the animals around the surrounding area. If you plan on walking out to Nugget Falls, if you walk every day, you're used to hiking, this is a fairly easy trail. From a 1 to 5, 5 being difficult, the trail's about a 1. Some people can do it in 30 minutes out, 30 minutes back, but if you're not used to walking or hiking, at least allow yourself 40 to 45 minutes out, 40 to 45 minutes back in. Now the first time I got to see this glacier, I was 12 years old. There was no Nugget Falls. The glacier was out that far covering the falls. I have seen it recede tremendously in 33 years. Now they say we're losing around 100 feet a year due to climate change. Over here on the right hand side, this is what our second high school is named after. This is Thunder Mountain. Thunder Mountain gets its name from in the springtime when the snow melts. As you can see, comes down in avalanches, has carved out this mountain, makes this whole valley sound like thunder. Now back in the 1700s, our glacier came all the way out to the highway. It had carved out this valley. Beaver Dam. I think he relocated to further down into the park. There's our glacier.
Mendenhall Glacier. Yeah, we're gonna get closer.
No, we're not. We can't.
Oh, well, it's okay. At least it's close enough. Most people don't even come this close. Can I come to the front?
One, two. Okay, and that.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's big. It's really nice. We have just lucked out with the weather here. Yeah, they said it was supposed to be storming all week, and we've had this nice weather. Oh, we went our cruise ship went up the up Tracy Island.
My pants are clean. Okay.
是中国人。
Hola, amigos.
And if anybody's going up to the tram, then you'll get to see Lady Baltimore. She's an eagle that they've had up there for 15 years. She had been shot twice, and because of her injuries, they were not able to return her back into the wild. So they keep her up there at the Raptor Center on display. And when you actually get a good look at an eagle, a close-up look, then you get that understanding of what it means when they say an eagle eye. So what's really neat is to watch the eagles mate. A lot of times people mistake them for fighting. And when they get ready to mate, they swirl around each other in a spiral, and they fly up. Usually pretty high until they hit about a current. Once they hit a current, then they will gather together, they will lock their talons, and they will do a free fall. Usually they're spinning as they do a free fall. And usually right before they hit the ground, they separate. Last year, I took some people out to whale watching, and they said, oh look, those eagles are fighting. I said, no, those eagles are mating. And as they were doing their free fall, they separated. One hit the water, but one made it. The one that hit the water broke its wing. What's really neat about Juneau is we have a bird raptor center. You call up that bird raptor center and you explain, oh, I have an eagle out here. It's drowning. It's not doing too good. It looks like it has a hurt wing. They're usually out within 15 minutes. On the right-hand side of the street going that way, that is where this Alaska Heritage Building is. Over here in the park, this is where the binoculars are, and they are free. And I can pull up around the corner here. This will be the first stop I can make. This is the closest I can get you to this side of town. Red Dog's directly across the street. The next stop will be at the tram.
They look like they're walking toward each other. See it? You don't see it?
Mountain goats. See them? They're called mountain goats.
Okay.
Okay,
Angie side is
don't
good.
move it.
Huh? Bad piece. Alright, that'll do it.
How about making
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Alright.
Guys, we are currently at Alaska Juneau. Juneau, where are we going? Juneau.
Hey, do you have tickets? With Shore Eyes.
I did.
Hola.
Okay. Yeah.
Look away, look away. Good smile. Okay, now close together. Pick Now you guys, everybody come over here.
Here, this place is very cold. Obviously, it's super windy. And take a look at the beautiful scenery.
It is making my voice crack.
Let me know when you're ready.
Okay. Right. One. Actually, I should do this.
What is this?
Pepper. Yes, please.
Pepper. Cream pepper, cream soup, potato cream soup. Pepper. Yes. Thank you. Enjoy. Thank you.
I don't think I ordered this.
Just try it.
See you in the
They try to use their own name, but then somebody suggests that, well, don't do it because BFA is known all over the world. Whoever heard of Nations Bank? You know, they used to have a bust right in front of the.
Cruise director, I apologize for interrupting your meal, but we have something very, very special for you. So, have you enjoyed your dining experience aboard the Emerald Princess? Princess Cruises. Everybody raise your glasses in the air. Raise your baked Alaskas in the air. All right. There are good ships There are good ships, there are ships that sail the seas, but the best ships are friendships, the ones with you and me. Thank you so much, everybody!
What? We should toast.
Yep.
We should toast.
Okay.
This is the us.
Yeah. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Yeah. Thanks, Leonard and Megan, for organizing
All for a good cause. Bing. Bing.
Alright, I'm not getting up anymore. You should have raised your glass.
I can smell those people a mile away.
You're done. Leo it up there. Wow, I think it's good.
10 out of 10. 100%. Woo!
Amazing. You know, think about doing a living hang These guys are real artists.
Okay.
Horizontal.
Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Check it out. See if you like it.
Videotape you guys. Okay.
One, two,